Hi, we're here at Warwick, and this is the Queensland International 3-day event. We're about to see the one-star take on the dressage phase. Now the one-star level, this is their first step into the international level of competition in eventing, and these horses are looking to qualify and go further through their career. So this is their first taste of real international eventing. Let's head out into the arena now and watch the Alltech one-star competition. Here we are at Warwick, and this is the one-star dressage now. This is our first horse into the competition arena, and he's going to be our trailblazer tomorrow for cross-country, so the riders will all be watching. Stuart Tinney. He's a legend in Australian eventing, and this young horse that he's riding here in this one-star class, a very fancy horse. This is a horse called Warhawk. He's a 6-year-old. Stuart just taking up the ride on Warhawk. Purchased at the end of last year from New Zealand. New owners for Stuart and Karen Tinney with Warhawk in the stable. And the 6-year-old, certainly that indicates that he's very inexperienced at this level of competition, but looking really nice there on that 10-metre circle, showing nice balance. Stuart preparing him for the next 10-metre circle there as he directly went away from us. Now you can see Warhawk. He's doing a bit of sneezing and lowering of his head, and what the judges are looking for is consistency in the frame. So Warhawk showing a little bit of inexperience there and just moving his head and neck around as he goes through those first couple of movements. Now that trot to walk transition there, you saw that Warhawk just lengthened his outline, and that's what the judges are looking for. But look at that lovely movement that Warhawk is showing through that lengthen of the trot across the diagonal. Nice rhythmical trot though, a little bit of loss of rhythm there in the second half of that circle, but certainly a very smooth circle there for Rebel and Ivybank Casper. Can't tell how big those circles are. Certainly the judge on the centre line can tell you exactly if they looked a little large. It looked a little misshapen, but that was a very nice trot, walk to trot again transition. The lengthen of the trot now. Probably not as expressive as they're probably looking for, but that's the only one lengthen of the trot in this test. You only get one crack at it, so I don't know that Ivybank Casper gave it his best shot right there. Very steady in the halt, even though he rested that one back leg. He still was very, very calm and steady in that halt and rein back. Dean Morris now in this Alltech one-star class. This is a horse called Classic Intentions. He's just broke in the lengthening there, unfortunately, for Dean. It's not exactly the best day in the office here for Dean at the moment. This horse showing a bit of tension. Nice down transition for Dean's horse. Classic Intentions. Very balanced, and a much nicer up transition there for the canter. So he's just settled early there. He got anticipated the up transition, but that was a really nice up transition to canter. And the medium canter on the circle showing nice balance. He's really settled down now in the test. That's much better. Dean will be happier now in this part of the test. Aim High, he's quite an experienced horse. He actually competed at 2-star level at Adelaide International Horse Trials in November in 2012. He's a thoroughbred. Eleanor's pretty much rides a team of thoroughbreds. Gets a lot of horses off the track and produces them in the eventing circles. Now I think Aim High, I think she's keeping a pretty tight lid on this, because that's probably not forward enough for the working trot for this level of competition, but I think she's playing it smart. I know that he gets pretty fired up, Aim High. He's a very good jumper. Makes it difficult to Always put your best foot forward in every 3 of the phases. So certainly that didn't change in the rhythm at all in either of those circles, but I'm going to put it out there to say that that trot could be a little more forward. Bit of interesting breeding here with Girl with a Curl. She's a Welsh Cob cross thoroughbred. And I don't think Nat thought much of this mare when she first started to compete her, but she just keeps stepping up to the mark. This mare's been 2-star and just doesn't seem to have a limit on its jump. But this is the dressage. Looking there, pretty good down transition there. That counter-canter movement, that'll score very well because it was quite consistent in the canter. Kept a good rhythm in the canter, so now we've got the lengthen, the medium canter on the circle. Could show a little bit more, probably not going for broke as much as she possibly could have there. She's a strong little thing though, she's sort of tanking off there in that working canter as she approaches this last half 12-metre circle. And she's settled there again now. So obviously she gets a little fired there in that medium canter, and Nat just struggled to get her to come back for that working canter movement. The counter canter there just popped up behind there, so that probably wasn't the best down transition the mare could have showed at the end of the test. And that's Girl with a Curl in our All-Tech 1-star class. I think Nat would be pretty happy with that. She's a fiery little customer, and I think she did one of the best tests we've seen today. We'll soon see what the judges think of it when the scores come up at the end of the day. That was Nat Blundell and Girl with a Curl. This is a very, very lovely horse. This is Warhawk. And Warhawk, a new addition to Stuart's team. And Warhawk purchased from New Zealand at the end of the season last year, and Stuart taking up the reins very recently. Warhawk still showing his greenness, poking in very boldly there though over that water, and that is just fabulous riding through the water fence there for Stuart and Warhawk. Now, I'm not entirely sure of what happened there, but that's unfortunate in this class that one of the very competitive riders, unfortunately not completing there, but this horse in front of us right now, My Aladdin with Nat Blundell in the saddle. Awkward, but through. My Aladdin, he's not the most experienced of Nat's rides, and he's only just taken up the 1-star ranks. Alchemist, not the best in the dressage, placing 13th, but he's well on his way through this course early on. Alchemist heading into the water now, making sure of it there for Matt Constance. Over the skinny at the out, over 10 ABC. And Matt's riding with a fair bit of purpose, so Alchemist, let's hope he doesn't let him down out there. New South Wales will be cheering him on, being a member of the team. Okay, coming into view, Stephen Stacey, number 22, successfully through fence 7. Guns Monty. Now Guns Monty is an interesting breeding. He's got a touch of Clydesdale in him. And certainly when Steve took the ride on from Guns Monty, he wasn't sure that he was going to be any sort of an eventer, but I tell you what, that was a pretty stylish display of riding there. But Stephen's coming into view now, one of your Queensland State of Origin representatives here in this 1-star class. And this is Dean Morris. He's a lovely rider, and he produces some very, very nice horses, Dean Morris, and Classic Intentions has been in very good form in this 1-star competition, placing at many of the events leading up to this CCI class, so Classic Intentions made absolutely super short work of that. And now Brianne Heffernan, number 31, Keanu's Surprise. She's wearing the maroon colours. She's a State of Origin team member in this 1-star class. Keanu's Surprise. Very nice, boldly through the water there, turns for the skinny. Desperately easy there actually for Keanu's surprise. And now we have coming into view number 32, Natalie Blundell, and this is Girl with a Curl. Now Girl with a Curl, she's not very big, but boy can she jump, this mare. She's a Welsh cross cob thoroughbred, and she's got springs in her heels, has the little mare. I think Nat might have even cut out a stride there between that bank and that skinny. You don't muck around when you're not riding it, something that's got a great big length of stride, so you make sure you cut every corner possible. And Nat making sure that Girl with a Curl has the most economical route around this course. So coming into view now, just about to take on fence number 9, the farmyard fence, Stuart Tinney, and this is Mai Tai. Mai Tai out in front after dressage, and this is the sort of ride you want to model your riding on, Mai Tai. Oh, isn't that the way of it? The leader there in the class, Mai Tai, had a big look at that water there. It's not an easy fence to brush into water, and Mai Tai just showing his greenness and giving Stuart a bit of a reason to make all of his experience get Mai Tai through there, so that's unfortunate there, and that's the way of eventing. You can go out of the dressage phase very, very confident, and Mai Tai picking up the 20 penalties there at the brush into the water, the Davcar horse floats water fence, 10A. Nat and Girl with a Curl in second placing. So now this will become very interesting later on. We won't be able to take much notice of it until we get down to the skinny end of the wedge. Nat Blundell with Girl with a Curl in second at this point, but interestingly enough, equal standing with the scores with her other ride, My Aladdin. They both on a score of 44.7. My Aladdin obviously closer to the time allowed for the cross country. Girl with a Curl has been very, very competitive at 2-star level in eventing, so she's quite an experienced ride for Nat. We'll see Nat compete also in the 3-star later on this afternoon with Algebra. Girl with a Curl, she's a Welsh thoroughbred, Welsh cob cross thoroughbred. And what she lacks in stature, she makes up in heart and also jumping talents. And that's a fairly workmanlike clear round there for Nat with Girl with a Curl. Let's hope she can do a repeat performance there with My Aladdin now into the arena. Is our 7th place getter at this point in the competition. Matt Constance, Matt riding Alchemist. Alchemist picking up 0.8 time penalties cross country yesterday, so that's only 2 seconds over the time out there for the cross country. So quite a handily posted clear on jumping, but just a couple of seconds over time unfortunately there for Matt and Alchemist, standing them on a score of 56.2 at this point in this All-Tech 1-star class. Then you can see Matt wearing the blue saddlecloth and the blue helmet, indicating he's a team member for New South Wales in our State of Origin Challenge. And a great clear round, Matt Constance posting there for that score of 56.2. Emily Hand now, Canopy Grove Domini, coming into the arena. One of our New South Wales riders representing for the State of Origin. Now Emily Han and Canopy Grove Damini having a super round cross country, clear on jumping and clear on time, maintaining their dressage score of 54.5. Canopy Grove Damini. Come on, little horse. Come on. Getting a bit of help there from Emily Canopy Grove Damini, approaching the last. And that's a great clear round. Bit of pressure on there for Emily Han. And Warhawk on course with Stuart in the saddle, the All-Tech one-star class. Down to the final two horses in this competition, so this is where it matters. This fabulous horse, Stuart, only just picked up the ride at the end of last year. New owners to his team in Tinney Eventing. Purchasing Warhawk from New Zealand, and what a lovely horse for Stuart to take on in his team of fabulous horses, and Warhawk looking great around this one-star class. Heading for the last. And certainly a very polished performance there. That was lovely to watch, Stuart. Thank you very much. A beautiful horse and beautifully ridden and lovely turned out horse. Just a pleasure to watch that round there. Show jumping Warhawk. So he remains on his score of 45.3. Nat with Girl with a Curl still on a score of 44.7. And now into the arena, Natalie Blundell and riding My Aladdin. Now My Aladdin also on the score of 44.7, equal with Natalie's other horse, Girl with a Curl. Now the My Aladdin, a big thoroughbred horse. Girl with a Curl, the diminutive Welsh Cob Cross thoroughbred. So two very different rides for Natalie in this one-star class. We'll see Nat come back later on into the three-star show jumping, also with Algebra and Sam, very established partnership. And Natalie working very hard to help Aladdin there. He's not as experienced as Girl with a Curl. Nat doing a fabulous job here organising the big inexperienced one-star horse. Clear over the last, so adding the 4 penalties for jumping and clear on time, so that sliding them out behind Warhawk, standing them on a score of 48.7. Just managing to keep them in front of Emily Han and Canopy Grove Damini. So first placing there going to Girl with a Curl. Congratulations there, Ben Smith and Nat Blundell. Second placing to Stuart Tinney and the fabulous Warhawk. Boy, what a lovely horse. Nat Blundell and Girl with a Curl. Nat, one of our New South Wales team members with Girl with a Curl, riding 2 horses in that competition. Girl with a Curl. Only a little thing. Girl with a Curl.
that photo.